Hi, my name is Todd Blyleven. I'm a former player and Major League Baseball scout, and I'm also the owner and CEO of the Scout Hub, which developed this new scouting sheet. So basically, the main purpose is to eliminate paper and pen and allow you to evaluate on a web page using your phone, tablet, iPad, desktop, whatever type of electronic device you'd like to use. To capture the subjective and objective metrics of the athlete in an academy or showcase setting. So you've been assigned to this event and use this tool. So I'm just going to run you through. It's super simple, I hope, for you to be able to understand how to evaluate. Just think of it again as it's eliminating the scout cards that we've been using for years, and now just kind of upgraded to hopefully help us make it easier on you. And then what it does is it gives the organization a great return because it tallies up all the metrics that you're inputting and the evaluations, makes it easier for them to insert into player reports for the athletes to learn and get better. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen here. So basically, you're going to go ahead and land on this page here, which you're already on, and you're going to see that in this baseball eval, you've got hitter, pitcher, infielder, outfielder, catcher, and athletic performance. So the grades that you'll evaluate the athlete subjectively will be on an 8 to 2 scale, 8 being outstanding, 5 being average, 2 being poor, and then if you did not see a particular category, just put D and S. But super simple, really, there's going to be a drop down. It'll have something like probably a number. If the event has, like, the kids are wearing numbers, it should have a number and then their name, the grad year, and the school. Okay. If for some reason the numbers are off, then please make sure you're telling the administrator or whoever's in charge there at the field. But we want all this to be correct. And this is what the organization and the Scout Hub have in our system. So we want to make sure it's correct for you on the field as well. But you'll go ahead and select the athlete, and then the hitting report reported on. So maybe I'm batting left-handed. Don't worry about correction report yet. I'll get back to this here in a second. And then you'll just, on the subjective side, if you're evaluating the subjective piece to their hitting, you just go ahead and hit the drop down so in stance load. Now, one thing with the grades, you're going to just select the grades and move on what you're seeing, okay, based on this grade scale. I have a huge kind of rule of thumb. I'm going to try to evaluate, especially a high school or an amateur athlete, between 4 and 6, okay, 5 being average. You're going to grade this athlete based on their grad year, okay? So if it's a sophomore in high school I'm evaluating, and I see this sophomore being average in, say, a stance and load or stride and direction, swing path, whatever that would be, I'm going to give him a 5 or her a 5. If it's below average and there needs to be some work, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go there. If it's really bad, I'm going to go with a well below average. If it has to be unbelievably poor in order for me to give a 2 to a player. Because the purpose of dropping a number 4 or a 3 on that athlete is to hopefully be able to describe that in my comments on what they need to work on and give them some development guidance. So not to completely crush the kid. Maybe that kid's never going to be a D1 athlete or something else, but maybe that kid can play high school. And if we teach him enough, or this little scouting report maybe motivates him or her enough based on the grades and then the comments that you're going to leave, maybe that kid ends up going home and working out and becomes a better player, and that's great, and hats off to you. As far as a plus, like plus would be above average. Elite is like a all-state, first team, all league type player. Outstanding is that's the best you're going to see at that grad year. That is unbelievably the best. You'll see even a 6 or 8 year old swinging it and have an amazing finish or amazing swing path. Drop an 8 on there, but keep in mind, an 8 is the best. So as you're going and grading, competitiveness is aggressiveness, and then you're going to put your bat exit velo and barrel speed, whatever the analytics are that they have down for you to evaluate. Pretty simple. Then you're going to go and leave comments. Okay. So let's say, for example, your job is only to do the stance and load. You're not supposed to get the bad exit. So once you've completed all the fields, and make sure you fill out all the fields, because the kids are getting the reports. It does not look good when these fields are left blank. So do your job, get all the fields done correctly. Go ahead and hit submit hitter. You'll see the content has been submitted and these boxes are clear, and now you're ready to move on to the next athlete. Okay. Let's say, for example, that you made a mistake though, and you actually graded Sam here and not Todd. So what you're going to want to do is go back to Todd and make sure that's correct. You're going to hit, go through the same thing. You're going to hit correction report though, and then you're going to go ahead and evaluate, put those metrics back in. And in this comments field, you're going to hit an asterisk, and you're just going to say, evaluated Sam instead of Todd. Delete Sam. Okay. And that'll tell our team that the last report, because they stack up one after another, that was just written, should have been Todd. So we'll go ahead and delete Sam. So go ahead and submit hitter. Everything will clear for you. Same thing applies if you're just doing the bad exit or whatever. Now I haven't filled in all these metrics yet, which we will for your next event. But let's say the bad exit was 90, barrel speed was, I don't know, 82, and the spin rate of the ball or whatever, 1600 or 2400, whatever, something crazy. Just go ahead and submit hitter, and you'll see those grades disappear. But that's really it in terms of evaluating the athletes. Pretty simple. Again, if you make a mistake, that's when you're going to hit that correction and just go ahead and hit yes. You don't need to hit no if there's nothing wrong. Okay, so the only time you're going to hit this is if you've made a mistake. And then hit submit hitter. Same thing applies in the pitching and the infield, outfield, and then the athlete catchers and athletic performance metrics. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. And this is awesome. It's really going to help the organization out in collecting as much data as possible, and also provide more digital feedback for the athletes. Remember, try to keep that comment section. Keep it, hey, I really liked your aggressiveness. I liked your swing. Something positive in your comment, and then a constructive sentence. So, hey, I liked your approach. I thought you were really aggressive today, but let's make sure we're working on that arm bar or some sequencing, like the camp instructor was talking about earlier. Or, hey, you're too far spread out with your feet. You're getting over your front side. So let's make sure we're working on staying back and having a cleaner bat path. They're going to bring these reports back to their coaches and their instructors. So let them try to help these athletes get better. That's our job. Evaluate. Don't squash a kid and totally demean them. I've seen these comments where it's like, can never play this game. Horrible. I don't like those comments. So let's please keep it positive, constructive, development focused, and obviously grade the way you grade. But keep in mind too that well below average means, hey, there's a ton of work that needs to be done. Poor is horrible. Okay. So, all right. Thank you very much for your time.